I'll be back. No wheelies?
I had to try it. I totally forgot that this is only your second time out on that thing. Far too cool. Don't wave the peasants, Tracy. They don't wave the peasants. Gotta have a real bike. I believe I have a real bike as well. It's got the proper number of wheels. It's propelled along by an engine. I guess that's not all the criteria though, because, you know, yeah, I guess it's lacking chrome. The horsepower to displacement ratio is way too high. Yeah, the CBR didn't have a power commander. It was, I think the fuel pressure regulator was going bad in it. So it had a combination of too much fuel and oil flying out the exhaust all the time. It was just a treat all around. Oh yeah, your bike just cruising around town like 60, 70 kilometers an hour. That's probably where it's going to get its like peak mileage. Mine is 109. God. That's kind of funny. 1 second you're asking me what time it is and then you're screaming, "Oh, you've got big lips!" Gotta love seeing dogs at random times. There's the first time I get a look at my handiwork in the back here. That plate light is really bright. Yeah, like broad daylight here, I can see it lit up. Try your other blinker. Nice. Broad daylight in the sunlight, it's still all really visible. Passing cars just because the extra horsepower is there. You're slowly, well, I shouldn't say slowly, it's your second ride out. You're quickly becoming corrupted. By the end of the summer, you'll be like, I want a ZX14. It's nice that the dimensions of the bike didn't really change a whole lot from, you know, from 250 to 300 to 400. So you're able to jump on it and be comfortable right away. The little tick-tick you're hearing, like between your arms almost. The last couple times I've heard that, I'm starting to think that maybe it's the fuel injectors. You're actually hearing the injectors firing. That's really what it sounds like. Because, I mean, the rest of the bike is just so quiet that a sound like that would show up. Or could show up, I guess. Go this way and maybe even check out what kind of shape the creek road is in. Probably horrible, I'm sure. With the 12, there was certainly no limping it along and, you know, driving it for months and months with big problems. And no, it just all at once. I'm done. Like the problem I had in Nova Scotia where the bike was losing power and that, I eventually, you know, I tracked it down to a bad coil. The coil was all corroded. Well, after the bike finally blew up, I realized why the coil was all corroded, because like the first time I thought it was just water that got in there and corroded it, but the next time I took it apart, it confirmed that it wasn't water, it was coolant that was getting in there. So the head was cracked. The cracked head was letting coolant get in around the coil, and that was corroding it. That wasn't the big issue that destroyed the bike either. I mean, that could have went on for a long time as long as you just keep up on it and keep making sure that that coil is good. But it cruises at the speeds you like to ride much more comfortably, a bit lower RPM and whatnot, and it's got, you know, the extra power to pass cars at those speeds, so you're not stuck behind cars in back roads. Crazy top speed is not exactly something you need or are interested in, so unless you're getting across the marsh, then there's no bike fast enough. So what did you say, 400 and some kilometers on it? 414. So we'll have a little over 500 on it when we get home. I'll start making plans to change the oil in it. Yeah, and then back to the dealer for 1,000 kilometer service, and then back to like regular oil change intervals after that. Well, I say regular, but I'll still be changing it more often than the manual says. Ooh, purdy. Yeah, right around the time that we picked up your 400, summer was nowhere in sight. We went to get it in the snow. We drove home in the freezing cold with it. A month later, the weather didn't really improve much at all, and then all of a sudden one day everything changed. Ow. That was a large bug. Yeah, this whole road can be questionable for dirt, so we'll take it easy. Do you remember, I think we came through here one night on the Bandit. There was a deer come across the road on us. We haven't even felt its raw highway passing power. Geez, I don't need to waste money buying you an exhaust when I can just listen into your sound effects in the helmet. It's the only bike I've had with stock exhaust on it that I like. It's not like super loud, which is kind of nice because when you're messing around, you don't want the damn thing screaming all the time. It's been 5 years with the KLX now. I guess it will be 5 years in August. It's crazy, 5 years. I may have put 8,000 kilometers on it. Although some years I think I put like 300 or 400 kilometers on it. Your first fuel up. Alright, so no fuel mileage worries for now. I'm getting the usual mid-30s or so miles per gallon, which is, you know, your average sedan mileage, but that's about all I've ever gotten out of these things. All set. We'll just run up the highway, one exit. Free hubcap. So your first little run up the highway with it. So what kind of speed did you hit there? 135. But that's like nothing at all. Plenty more to go. Yeah, 135 on the 250 was approaching its limits. Now I'm gonna have to get you a camera and a microphone here. Either that or I'm gonna have to just repeat everything, like super comfortable, great on the highway, love it. Whoa, that's a little tarp garage. Probably didn't buy that one at Canadian Tire. All right, I'll be back. No wheelies? We're at 498. I gotta get this thing to 500 for a photo opportunity. No gloves on, I feel naked. Take it very slow in the dirt. Can't get no dirt up on it. Tracy specifically said no wheelies, but I had to try it. Come on, roll 500 before I get there. Ah, yes, there it
is. You shut it off, eh, to get it?
I was scared it might go to 501. It probably wouldn't have, but I didn't want to risk it. Alright. Bye-bye Wolf Lake. Roads get a fair bit better once you're inside the park here. I gots to go. Interrupting my time here. That's a lovely little piece of road right there. Now we will wait for Tracy. We're like the the stock exhaust gang. If you want to roll with us, you better get a stock pipe on. Your range keeps climbing and your eco light's on all the time. I don't have an eco light. I've got a shift light. Whenever it's coming on though, I'm not getting very good mileage. So it's showing 385 to empty, and we've got about 72 kilometers in. So it's easily saying you're going to get like 450 kilometers out of a tank. Actually, if you were to do this right from the beginning all day, you might be able to hit 500 kilometers per tank according to that, because we had a little rip down the highway there that it didn't really like. As soon as you hit the highway, that eco light pretty much just shuts off. You don't see it. 23,999. This is like the longest kilometer ever. There it is, 24,000. It's only got like 23,475 more than yours. And you're holding off so you don't pass them. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, it's that X14 before long. No, what am I saying? H2. We have easily lost 10 degrees. Fundy is so weird. I actually have a video of it. I left home, it was about 26 degrees in town, sunny, and by the time I got through here, it was raining, and these houses on the right here, there was smoke coming out of their chimney because it was maybe 7 or 8 degrees. You would think it'd be like right out by the water, by Alma, or an area like that would get the coldest weather, but here, it's always here. I don't think Canadian geese need a passport to get back in after they fly north in the summertime, but I'm sure they still have to stop at border services and pay hefty fees. Importing their offspring, there's a 25% beak fee. If I had an eco light, it would totally be on now. Coming up on Riverside Albert. Should start warming up a little bit. Haven't really got a chance to use this on a track, so don't know how long it takes to get to this turn. I'd say about 6 seconds according to my lap timer. Gotta get some use out of it, right? All this traffic through here is super annoying. Yeah, I still forget about this. Since the washout, things have changed. Alright, that's the end of this one, but you guys can't hear right now, but Tracy's saying that you should definitely subscribe to the channel and watch the next video. See, she's agreeing. That's exactly what she was just saying.